Hello, myself Dr. Sandeep Hatwar with Icon IVF and Fetal Medicine Center presents to you my series on human embryology made easy. In my earlier video, I have already described the formation of a bilaminar disc. If you haven't watched that video, please click the link given in the description box. This present video is on the process of gastrulation. At one end of the embryonic disc, a rounded area becomes thicker than rest of the disc. This is called as a precordial plate. In this region of the precordial plate, the cuboid hypoplastic cells becomes columnar. This tall hypoplastic cells forms the precordial plate. It marks the cranial and caudal end of the embryo. At the end of the formation of the precordial plate, the region where the precordial plate is formed is the cranial end and the other is the caudal end. This precordial plate also determines the central axis of the embryo. Now this is as what is seen from the epiblastic side. Now in the region of the precordial plate, the both epiblast and the hypoblast are tightly bound to each other. Now the round shape of the embryonic disc becomes a pear shape. The next step is the formation of primitive streak. This is what you can see, a bulge appearing in the midline below the precordial plate near the caudal end of the embryo near the connecting stalk, and this bulge is called as a primitive streak. With the formation of the primitive streak, the gastrulation process has already begun. Formation of the primitive streak is because of the excessive proliferation of the epiblastic cells, and these cells they migrate toward the center to form a heap of cells that is called as a primitive streak. Soon after the formation of primitive streak, a groove appears in the center and that is called as a primitive groove. Now I have deliberately removed this connecting stalk to show it in a better way. See, this is a primitive streak and that is the formation of now primitive groove. Similarly, the primitive knot or Hassanth node is also formed. At the cranial end of the primitive streak, you see a circular arrangement of the cells with a central pit. That is the primitive knot with a blastopore. Now just to align it properly, it is like this. This is the exact structure. Now the epiblastic cells continue to proliferate and migrate toward the center, towards the primitive streak, and from the primitive groove they fall like a waterfall and replace all the hypoplastic cells. This process will continue till all the hypoplastic cells are replaced by the epiblastic cells. As you watch this, now they are falling and replacing all the hypoplastic cells. Now this is what you get in a cut section. This is how the epiblastic cells replace all the hypoplastic cells. In a three-dimensional view, you see it like this. The epiblastic cells are proliferating and migrating through the primitive groove and completely replacing the hypoplastic cells. Now I will remove the epiblastic layer to show only the hypoplastic layer. The orange cells are the hypoplastic cells and the blue one are the epiblastic cells. Now these epiblastic cells are now going to replace the whole of these orange cells, and the direction of spread is from caudal to cranial like this. Thus all the hypoplastic cells are now replaced by the epiblastic cells. I have deliberately changed the color so as to avoid confusion. Now the blue layer is called ectodermal layer and the orange one is called as the endodermal layer. The process of gastrulation is not yet complete, and the rest of the process, that is the formation of the third layer, that is the mesodermal layer, will cover in the next lecture. Now here I have shown all the complete details. The blue layer is called as the ectodermal layer, which forms the floor of the amniotic cavity. The orange layer is the endodermal layer, which forms the roof of the yolk sac. I have also shown the amnion and the chorion, the connecting stalk, the allantois, and where the placenta is going to get formed. The process of gastrulation is not yet over, and it will continue further in the next video with the formation of the mesodermal layer, or what we call it as a intra-embryonic mesoderm. So see you in the next video. Goodbye and thank you.